Welcome to Nerd Chat. Alright, so today I'm going to be replying to Melissa's video. So you gave me some book recommendations, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Looking for Alaska, we read that together, and I really enjoyed that book. It was very great, very entertaining. John Green is great, of course. I need to read his other books, though. I've read Paper Towns and The Fault in Our Stars, but I haven't read Abundance of Catherines or Will Grayson, which we talked about that one the other day. So I'm sure we will read them soon. Looking forward to that. I haven't read, you talked about Every Last Word. I haven't read that one. It sounds very interesting though, so it'll definitely be one that I look forward to reading in the future. And then you also mentioned 13 Reasons Why. That one is very interesting as well. So I just said that, but that one, I like the concept of that and how that was done. All the Bright Places is another one I have not read, so I have a lot of reading to do. So along, of course, with all the other books we have here in our library. But I would also like to give some book recommendations, reviewing some of my favorite books. So of course, as you know, one of my favorite books of all time is Ready Player One. This book is awesome. It's written by Ernest Cline. Basically, without giving away too much in the book, it's about a guy who passes away and leaves like his $240 billion fortune to anybody who can find this Easter egg that he left in this video game that he created. The book is set in the year 2045, I believe, 2044 or 45, one of those. And so in that timeline, there is a much more advanced gaming system than anything we have today. So, very, very good book. Lots of references to 80s pop culture, Star Wars, Star Trek, classic 80s movies. Very, very good book. Definitely recommend reading this one. He also wrote another book after this one called Andromeda, which is kind of follows the same concept, but a little bit different. Basically, in Andromeda, the boy, his favorite video game that he plays turns out to be real life. So it's really, I haven't finished that one yet, but it's really cool, and I'm liking that one too. The next book I want to talk about is Tom Clancy's Dead or Alive. This is one of my favorite Tom Clancy books. It features one of his most famous characters, if not his most, Jack Ryan. And Jack Ryan is awesome. He, super spy basically. This book is pretty good. It's military based like most of Tom Clancy's books, but still really good, really interesting, very captivating story. He's written quite a lot of books. He also produces a lot of video games under his name. I don't know what he specifically does now that he's passed away, but there are lots of good Tom Clancy based books and games and all kinds of good stuff. The next book I want to talk about is William Shakespeare's A Star Wars Story. So this book follows, hi Belle. This book follows the Star Wars story through A New Hope, and it is called Star Wars: Verily A New Hope. Now these books are really, really good. I like the art in the book, the way they draw the characters, a very Shakespearean style, and it's really interesting. It's read from a Shakespearean play point of view, and I'd like to read one of my favorite lines in the very beginning of this book. It's a line spoken by Darth Vader. The scene is they're on the rebel ship in the very beginning of the movie. He's looking for the plans to the Death Star, and he says, "Thou speakest well, my stormtrooper, and yet not well upon my ear the message falls. I turn to thee, thou rebel. I lift thy head above my own. Thou canst now choose to keep thy secrets locked safe in that head, and therefore lose the life thou holdest dear, or else to keep thy head and thus thy life. My patience runneth quickly out, much like the sands across the dunes of Tatooine. So tell me, else thou diest quick. Where shall I find transmissions thou didst intercept? What hast thou done, say, with those plans?" So that's that's kind of the style of the whole book. It's all very Shakespearean, set out in a play. You could actually get a group of your friends together and all act this play out if you have enough people. It's set up to do that, and it's just so funny. And they did The Empire Striketh Back, and then the Jedi Doth Return. So they're very interesting, very fun to read. As you can see, they're pretty short, so it's not too long of a read. So it's, you know, not very thick, but still a very good read. So those are the books just that I wanted to recommend quickly that, you know, you guys can check out. Read these books. Tell me what you think. You know, if you love them, if you hate them, if, you know, anything at all. All right. Have a good day.